What's going on, guys? Josh, the Accountability for All, and I had to go live one last time before tomorrow. A lot of people file in because I just watched something. You guys gotta take a look at it. Let everybody have a second to get in here. Hawkeye Patriot, what's going on? People are coming in pretty fast. What's going on, everybody? How we doing? Trent, got that request from you. Ashley, hey. What's good, Joey? Did accept your request. Paul R. Joshua, what's up? Cepeda? How you folks doing? Accountability for Chicago. All right, guys. I'm going to get right down to it. What happened to me, right? For those of you who, Pitbull, what's up, brother? For those of you who, I'll click it, Josh. Jason, what's going on? So, for those of you unaware, I was arrested at the Straight Pride, and if you Google my name, everyone's writing a story about it. Some people are even saying that I was bailed out with Antifa funds. This bullshit news website is saying that $17,000 was raised for me from Antifa lawyers to bail me out. Well, you guys know that that's BS because Hot Tow Trucker went live when she went to bail me out. But regardless, I stood with the protesters, stood right in the front lines, stood in the face of Antifa, stood in the face of all those cops, and they illegally arrested me. They beat me up. They pepper sprayed me, all that jazz. Wound up getting bailed out. And I gotta tell you something. I got everyone across the world sending me all these messages, telling me that I'm a patriot, right? I'm a hero. And somebody even said they were gonna fly out from Switzerland to come support me at Accountability for Chicago. If you just watch the live feed, it kind of brought me back for a moment to why I do this. Now, if just a little jaded, what's up, girl? A week ago, and it's probably taken a minute to upload, but I put it on my community page. You can check it out. It's the last video I put on my community page. It's also on the Accountability for All Facebook page. It's a video that Accountability for Chicago just put up. And towards the end, he brought me back to why I do this. He gets super emotional. And he's emotional because he's tired of the tyranny. He's tired of the oppression. He's tired of people's rights getting violated. He's tired of being made a victim because he doesn't want to be a victim. He doesn't want to be tread on. We're fighters. We're freedom fighters because we have to be, not because we choose to be, right? We choose to be because we have to be. Because we have to stand up for our rights. And he just got so emotional, right? And he was just, in tears, and it was the most beautiful thing I've seen in a long voice. What's up, Stacy? And gave me a little bit of extra pep in my step. And I need you to watch this video. Watch the whole thing because you're missing out if you don't. But Accountability for Chicago is the last live feed, the last video that's put up. Even if you just have to, you don't have a lot of time, scroll towards the end, the last 10 minutes, and see the fervor, see the upset in this kid's voice. All right, because Joe Luna with Accountability for Chicago is with everything good. He's everything good about the human race. He's everything that a good human being should be. And he's everything that's right in the world. So if you second guess what we do, I see a lot of haters, right? Even some people that like First Amendment audits are going on the different channels that are airing my arrest and say, oh, he finally deserved it. He was saying F the police, because some people do silent audits. That doesn't make sense to me. Because if you like First Amendment, but you think I got what I deserve because I was saying fuck the police, like you like the First Amendment if it applies to the way that you practice it, for this kid to be this upset and do what he does because he's tired to the point where he's emotional. Guys, that's what this is all about. And that just gave me hell under my seat. I got some good news and some bad news. What do you want first? Good news or bad news about tomorrow, folks? What's up, news now? Bad news. The bad news is the district attorney is not a fan of trying this on an individual basis, which means, now in certain cases with certain charges, and I looked into it and I don't apply, it's made to look like this big mass protest thing, and they can introduce evidence showing that, like, they're gonna try and make me look like a terrorist, like I incited a riot. Either way, the bad news is they'll probably try and institute another bail because they can do that. Okay. It's not your normal disorderly conduct. The resisting arrest part, there was 4 officers hurt. The mayor's talking about it. He's disgusted with the actions of the police, but it's very high publicity right now. So they may seek a higher bail to hold me. And but there's good news. The good news is I got a hold of one of the best attorneys in Boston. And with the funds that you guys provided, I was able to get him for tomorrow. All right, this guy charges huge money, but he's the best that there is. He does criminal. He used to be a prosecutor. He's huge with civil rights stuff, and he's got a 98% case win in court. So this is huge. He's given me an hour. Hopefully it's less than that because the guy wanted like $1,000 and I had $600. So I said, I'll give you the 600. Let's get right in there, get it taken care of, and hopefully we get it done. And I'm just hoping that if it goes past an hour, he's not going to take off. Bad news is they may ask for a bail. If they ask for another bail on top of it, I just paid the lawyer. I won't have any money for a bail, but I'd rather pay the lawyer, hoping he can get me out of it, than have some shit bum attorney and have money for bail that might not be enough for bail. So that's where I'm at right now. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. So there's good and bad. And there's always the opportunity that they might not ask for any additional bail. But right now, this gives me a chance to get a good attorney in there, to let the prosecutor see that I have an amazing attorney, and hopefully we get this process moving. Because, yeah, I wasn't going to do anything more before I went in tomorrow. 8:30. Probably going to come closer to 9. Granite State live streams is going to be there live streaming it. Mass Accountability is going to be there live streaming it. I appreciate that, Master Banks. But, I don't see the need for more bail. Because let's talk about what bail is. When somebody has bail, they withhold financial, something. In Massachusetts, there's no 10%, right? So if you have a $100,000 bail, you only have to put up 10 grand. Whatever the bail is, you have to pay the entire thing. However, if I post bond and then I show up to court, there is no more need for bail because I'm not a flight risk. I bailed out and I came back. Jade, are you leaving already? I hope it gets thrown out, Matt. But either way, my spirits are up now after watching Joe. Because he's everything what's good with the world. I don't know if the DA loves me breaking news. I haven't met this DA. I'm hoping that they're on the side of righteousness. And don't apologize for getting emotional, man. Those were a mixture of tears of joy for the support and tears from finally, just being tired of being oppressed. Screw the tyrants, okay? Screw the tyrants. And I'll tell you one thing. I didn't fly out to Chicago because people flew me out to Chicago, okay? I flew out to Chicago because another human being suffered an injustice at the hands of tyrants, and his rights were tread on. And I went to Chicago because, you know what? You're a general, Joe. And I was just explaining this to you in your chat. When you're a soldier, you have a soldier in front of you. You have a soldier behind you. You have a soldier to the left of you and a soldier to the right of you. But when you're a general, you're at the top. There's no one else in front of you, Joe. And sometimes you feel like you're alone. But you gotta remember, there's a fucking army behind you, brother. This is what happens when, we do what we do, okay? And here's the difference. I'm not a hero. Joe is. Because I'm fighting for what's right. I'm very well educated and very well versed, and I believe in principle that this is bullshit and it's wrong. But Joe is so much more emotionally invested in what he's doing than any other auditor I've ever seen. And that's why I call Joe a general. No, Glenn Call, you just missed the entire thing. I said Joe is a general. It actually started off, thank you, John. But like, I love when people make up like bullshit as they go, because I actually said Joe is a general. So I said, but anyways, I mean, like, if I'm leading a charge against freedom, I guess I'll be a general too, whatever. But that's exactly the opposite of what I said. So if you want to troll and you want to get crazy and you want to just say stupid shit, the freedom of speech gives you the right to do that. Unfortunately, it doesn't protect you against sounding and looking stupid. Yeah, Joe is awesome. So it's a person like that that's leading everything right in the world. And when you watch someone like that that believes so much in what they do, well, I don't answer questions. It gives you that little fire up in your ass. Accountability for Chicago. That's Joe. All right, road to prison. And here's another thing you got to know, man. Here's the other thing you guys got to know is that this is like such a hard fight to fight. Hold on one second. I just lost my train of thought. Political trance just kind of blew my mind with that. Road to prison. So here's what I wanted to tell you. Because you've done time in jail, that does not remove any of your rights. And some auditors will tell me that I'm an idiot for saying this and that, we're out to get the criminals. A criminal can be a cop. A criminal can be anybody. A criminal is someone that divides and tries to conquer our Constitution and oppress another person. There cannot be a victimless crime, okay? There has to be a victim that has suffered an injustice for there to be a crime, in my beliefs. However, you went to jail. You paid your debt to society. So when you come back out and you reemerge into society, you have a fresh start. Your rights don't matter less because you stole a car, because you had a drug problem, and you got in a fight and you got the better of the guy and he accidentally got hurt too much. If the judge says you do 4 years road to prison, and you do 4 years, when you come in, you've just made mistakes and you grew from them. I'll tell you one thing. If the cop that assaulted me got charged with every person that he assaulted, he'd be looking at like 20 years, and he's done no time. He's not earned a reinstitution into society. He is recidivism that just hasn't happened yet. So at least you've paid your debt. You don't lose rights. You're still an American. You were a member in an institutional setting for whatever amount of time you're there. But that doesn't change what you've done. That doesn't change who you are. It means that you've made mistakes. It means that you've atoned for them. And now you're trying to make a difference. These cops, they've made mistakes. They've committed crimes. They have not atoned for them. They have not paid for them. They have not paid their debt to society. Instead of serving and protecting, they're harassing and collecting. What's up, Captain Redbeard? So the moment you walked out of that jail or prison and you served whatever time was trial by a judge, the people held you to account. The people instituted a punishment. And if you've met or exceeded the people's expectations, then you are one with America. What do I think of black people? I don't understand the contents of that. I mean, what do I think of white people? What do I think of Asian people? What do I think of? I mean, they're I don't see the skin color unless it's to, if I have 5 different races and someone's just assaulted me and I have to pick someone out. I mean, it would help. Like, there's no, like, oh, that's the white guy that did it. Like, race means absolutely nothing. So I think they are the other person in this Constitution because we were created equal. Thank you, Chrissy. Thank you, Bill. I appreciate that. People are people. We're all. Sorry about that. I've told this story about my mother before. And there's rich people, there's poor people, there's dark skinned people, there's light skinned people. It doesn't matter whether you're white, black, purple, polka dotted, or an alligator eating a goldfish. We're all the same. Thanks, guys. That was well. Here's the thing, and I said this earlier tonight to somebody. when they said when someone said there's no such thing as a stupid question, they were dead wrong because they just hadn't heard that question yet. Yeah. Captain Redbeard, you couldn't have said it any better. There's only one race, the human race. Okay? And I look forward to coming to everywhere. Well, you asked a kind of a stupid question, Carlos. Let me ask you a question, Carlos. What ethnicity are you? What ethnicity are you, Carlos? We're all American. If you live in this country, you're American. But what is your heritage? Because, all right, Bullocks, see you later. Because here's the thing. If someone came up to you and said, whatever heritage you are, what do you think about that? You might take offense to it. You're the same as everybody else. So, getting back to topic, I'm getting ready tomorrow. Dustin P. I'm going to try and give them hell tomorrow. Thank you, Mike. Brandon, what's going on? And well, you know who outnumbers black people? Let's call them black people just to entertain you right now, Carlos, because I guarantee you, if you walked up to a whole bunch of racist white people and you said, there's two people, one will steal from you. One is Jerry, the other is Carlos. Who do you think will steal from you? They're going to say Carlos. That's number one. And you know what gang, what a bunch of criminals outweighs like probably the entire African American human race? The police. They rob people. They steal people. They hurt innocent women and children. I saw a small child tear gassed when his mother asked for directions. Bye, Matt. So it doesn't represent a specific race. It comes down to which neighborhoods don't have access to programs, which neighborhoods don't have access to funding they should have access to. It comes down to neighborhoods that are low income. Low income always raises high crime. Because if you have no money, money needs to be found. And if the job market's down, that increases the crime rate even more. So people go out to do what they need to do to make money. It doesn't make it legal. It doesn't make it right. It just makes sure the bills are paid and the kids eat and the heat's on. Okay? And there's white people, there's African American people, there's Hispanic people, there's people from all over the world that suffer from this. I can guarantee you one thing: the crime rate in I forget the town in Georgia is through the roof. It's predominantly white people. They're making crystal meth and all sorts of stuff down there. So it comes down to high population, low income, no job market. People do what they need to do to survive. I'll tell you a story real quick. It just kind of touches base on this. I was in New York. My mother's a teacher for 38 years. Hey, Bama. My mother's a teacher for 38 years. And she takes me to New York, and we have a great time staying in all the nice hotels. And she takes me to this shit end of town. Like, okay, she takes me down by the Bowery. Okay? And there's a whole bunch of homeless people. Okay? And there's barrels. This was the 90s. And the barrels are all lit on fire. And she says, you see how hungry those people look? Just remember what you have. Because there's always someone that has less. I want you to see something. So she goes in, she buys a hot sandwich, like a meatball sub or something, and she says, I want you to go give it to that lady. She's sitting there with her 3 kids. I'm 31. So I bring the sub sandwich over to the lady. I give it to her, and she says, God bless you. Thank you so much. The kids say thank you so much. She gives me a big hug, and she says, your mother should be very proud of you. And I walked back to my mom, and I thought we were walking away, and she goes, I want you to look. And I look back at the lady, and she's waving at me. And my mom says this, because my mom grew up in the hood. Okay, she grew up with nothing. Father passed away as a casualty of war. Okay, my mother's 76. Father passed away as a casualty of war. Her mother was a saint. She was a lunch lady, and she raised 7 children in the ghetto and put them all through college. They all became successful. And she looks at me and she says, when we turn this corner, I will bet you that woman throws that sandwich in the trash. Well, why would she do that? Her and her kids are hungry. That makes no sense. You're absolutely wrong, Ma. So we turn the corner, we peek our head around, and she looks at her kids and she throws the sandwich in the trash. And I couldn't understand. I was mad. We just paid that money for that sandwich and she threw it in the trash, threw it in the fire. What's wrong with her? And she goes, I want you to remember how lucky you are. Because she had a choice. Her kids could go hungry or they could go cold. And a mother should never have to make that choice of whether to feed her kids, house her kids, or clothe her kids. And she chose that it would be better to stay warm for the night in the dead of winter than it would be to have some warm food in their belly. A couple days later, we leave New York, and I see that same lady coming out of the same hotel we were staying in. I think my mom taught me a lesson and put them up in the hotel. But it doesn't matter because this woman was white. She wasn't black. And I bet if I told the story and asked what skin color you thought she was, you'd think some ethnicity. She was white. We're all in this together. We all have some dog in this fight. And we all have some bet on the pony. No, my mom would see you guys pull whatever you want from it, some of you guys. No, my point actually went back to you, Carlos, because you think that all black people must be involved in crime. And I said crime goes to housing people and goes down to job market and stuff like that. But the point of the story is that no one should be treated any different. We're all Americans. We all have a dog in this fight. We all are in this together. And we all have to stand next to each other. Did Anselmo call me out? King Putin. I don't even want to ask you what did he call me out on because he's like one of my best friends and we talk all the time and I messaged him like an hour ago. So, I mean, I know him better than you. I'm not even going to entertain it. So, freedom does not know a color. Freedom knows free people. We're all freedom fighters in our own way. I did not taste the new Popeyes chicken sandwich. What's going on with this? I heard something, my phone back tomorrow, but I have a SIM card, and it's been a long weekend. So as soon as, whether I get my phone back or I put a SIM card in this, I'm going to be back out there tomorrow, hopefully, if everything goes well. Okay, so we got a couple questions. North Shore, what happened, buddy? Something sold out? I don't know what you mean, bro. Popeye conspiracy. I'm just going through all these questions. Hi, Amy. Well, I couldn't doctor the videos. You can check all the videos that 3 other people took, but my concern isn't, my only concern is if they ask for more bail. That could be a problem. It's got to be the cows protesting Popeye. What's up, Joe Cool? Okay, Jim. So let's go with your theory. I got these guys dead busted. It's all on film, and I should have nothing to worry about. Of course, me and Enrique are still cool. Why would I not be cool with him? Who started this? Why would I not be cool with Enrique? Why, like, I don't understand. Like, how do some of you guys come up with this stuff? Like, he's one of my best friends. We talk regularly. Why would I not be cool with him? Anyways, thank you, in Motown. So here's the thing, right? So everything should be fine. Everything should be fine. I heard that, Dave. Right, that's what I thought you were talking about. They totally sold out, so people are selling them on eBay. But yes, Jim. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Jim Woodward. I got this all wrapped up. The video speaks for itself. Blah, 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 blah. You shouldn't have a problem with it. Well, here's my contest to that, okay? The police are there to uphold the law. They are to serve and protect, and they should never illegally arrest me and illegally charge me and assault me. But they did. The justice system failed me. So that's the justice system has continued to fail me. So of course I'm nervous tomorrow that maybe I got a judge that doesn't care about the Constitution. We have hundreds of cops out there violating my rights. Why should I not be concerned that one judge might do the same? You know what I mean? And that's what, oh, Jim, I'm not pleading. I can't plead tomorrow. It's just an arraignment. They can only ask for a higher bail if they choose to do anything else. Or just give me another date for discovery. I have maintained from the beginning that there's nothing wrong with people who have pled out. They have families, they can't be in jail, they have kids to provide for. I get it. I don't know, Jones. I wasn't watching that. Anyways, actually, I do know the person that he was talking about. However, there's nothing wrong with people doing that, but I'm not going to. I can tell you one thing: the day that I plead to this, I will shut down my channel. But before I do, I will publicly call myself a hypocrite, a phony, and a fake. Before I would ever take a plea for something that I didn't do. It's like that Shawn Mendes song. It's not in my blood. Huh?
Amendment?
I don't know what it is.
One well.
A what?
Just take a bite. That's not.
It tastes like a rubber foam ball. I don't like it.
Ew.
Oh.
It's delicious.
Guys, I'll be honest, right? I made an announcement before that I was going to be working alone. And here's why I did it. I should have been smooth to let Hot Tow Truck Girl make her own decision. It really had a lot to do with I believe that I'll get a more honest response from by myself. But I got so nervous after what happened to me. I just couldn't picture Hot Tow Truck Girl in the field getting maced, getting beat up by the cops, and getting handled. And if she was with me, that would have happened to her. And without letting her make her own decision, I said, I'm just going to work alone because I didn't want to see her get hurt. So, something weird again. I don't know what it's called. Because she found a bigger place. There's been a house tour. Yeah, they were. Oh, arancini? No, it wasn't an arancini, but now I want an arancini, Ashley. I love those. It was like some bread thing that tasted a little funky. What's up, Retta? How you doing, Retta? Bad signal? Okay. I'm live. I'm live again. Problem solved?
You good?
I'm good. So guys,
Oh my God.
I appreciate everyone. And see anybody getting hurt.
Are you talking about me?
Mm-hmm.
I'll go back in.
No, you can stay out here.
No. Sorry.
No, it's transparency. I couldn't, after what happened, I got really down and I couldn't stand to see her get hurt or have them do that to, what's up MCW, have them do that to her. So I kind of made an executive decision on behalf of her. And I was like, I'm just going to do it alone. And I do get better responses when I'm by myself because they're more likely to either violate my rights or do the right thing. But part of the decision was because I didn't want to see her get hurt. And I don't have the right to make that decision. She's feeling better. Naked Boy was sick too. I think it was food poisoning. If you don't pick me up at Popeyes and send it to me right now, we will never speak again. I would get my phone back. However, they haven't logged as evidence, so they're like trying to steal it or something. So be wary. Like beware and be wary. Have you see like weird comments and stuff like that? Newports, yes. Oh, they are using my phone as we speak. Frankie says hello. Did you leave it out here or did you bring it
No,
down?
it's the same. Hold on. No.
All right, well, let
Are you done talking about me?
You can come out. No one's talking about you like that. It's nothing bad. Jesus.
I don't care anyway, but I'm wondering.
The ATM asking for a full social. Hey, you know what questions they were asking me, guys? They said, all you have to do is give your name and your name, your address, and your date of birth. That's all you have to give when you speak to the police. You don't have to give your father's maiden name, your mother's maiden name, or your father's previous dog's last name, or anything like that. So he says, hair color. I said, want. He's like, what? I was like, yeah, just want. See, he didn't want to deal with it. He writes it. And he goes, all right, eye color. I said, my. Whatever. He writes it. And he goes, height, attorney. He goes, I get it. Want my attorney. And then he kept talking to me. I'm like, you just heard me say I want my attorney. So as soon as they hear me say, I'm invoking my Fifth Amendment right, I would like to speak to legal counsel, they can't talk to you anymore. These guys were not accepting that for an answer. They wanted to talk to me about everything. About everything. Unbelievable. All right, guys, well, I'm starting to lose connection. So my last live stream until tomorrow. Borrowed time. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Everyone donated. Live stream. She's going to be checking this whole thing out live. She's going to let you guys know what happened. If I don't make it out, look for Granite State live streams or look for Mass Accountability. And I really appreciate everything you've done. Thanks, Joe Luna. Thanks, Hawkeye. Thanks, everybody out there. Joe Cool, Auditing America, Hot Tow Truck Girl, everyone that's made the sacrifice for the cause. And you are right. Hawkeye Patriot News. Thanks, Ken Dalton, because I've changed it. That's the reason we stopped you today. We the people. Love you guys and stay safe. Wish me luck. I'm going to need it. And stay safe. Wish me luck. I'm going to need it.